Thank you for the very kind introduction. And thank you all for attending. And most importantly, I think we should all just say thank you to the Demi family and to Demi Learning for putting on this awesome event. So, I don't think I'll take my full 5 minutes, but I just wanted to tell you all a story. It's my story, it's my family's story, and it's Veritas' story. About 20 years ago, my parents came to the realization that they were not happy with the education that my older brother and I were getting. And so they decided to take action, and they started looking for alternatives. And because of our current pastor at the time, who happened to be R.C. Sproul, he recommended a book to my parents about classical Christian education. And after they read this book, the light turned on, and they fell in love with the concept of this type of education. Just said, this is what we want for our boys. And if you don't know, I have 3 brothers, so we're all within 5 years. We're all very close together, and they already had a house full of chaos and mayhem. But they took on a project like this, and they started looking around for options on ways to do this and educate us classically and from a biblical perspective. And living in Orlando at the time, nothing existed. There were no schools. They just couldn't find anything to teach us this way. So if you know my parents, it wouldn't surprise you, just because they are doers. They just get things done. So what'd they do? They started a school, just like that. They started looking for curriculum, and to their dismay, and probably very surprisingly, they really came back empty-handed. There really wasn't a whole lot of curriculum out there that was teaching with the classical model from a Christian perspective. So, what did they do? Well, again, if you know my parents, you'll know the answer. They made their own curriculum. They had no intention of selling it. They just made this for me and my brothers, and for the school we were going to, and for the other kids in our school. And it took off. People loved it so much, they kept asking my parents to sell it. My dad was in the investment real estate business at the time, and he just said, I have no interest in doing this. But God has a sense of humor. And a couple years later, after we transitioned from Orlando to here in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and we were homeschooling at the time, during that transition, they started Veritas Press. And now my dad's real estate investment business went into the filing cabinet, and they've dedicated their lives to providing different options to homeschooling families and Christian families around the world, whether it's providing a private Christian school with our materials, or you as homeschool families, the resources that you need. They've done that, and we now that I'm involved, we continue to provide more and more. So we have an online school now that offers a diploma, so students can either be full-time or part-time, and it's a really exciting time for parents that really want to take charge and get involved in the education of their children's lives, because you have so many options now. The classical model isn't necessarily the right model for anybody. As Ethan talked about, you need to get out there, you need to do your research, and find the model that best suits your family, you, and your students' needs. So thank you for coming, thank you for listening, and I just want to encourage you to continue the good fight, and to just seek out the many options that are available to you. Thanks so much.